Don't imagine I came to bring peace to the earth. I came not to bring peace, but a sword. Delving into the text, don't imagine I came to bring peace to the earth. What this text is saying, peace is not the thing he will bring. So the question becomes, why not peace? The reason is, peace is simply peace for a set amount of time, and you will have to experience this peace in this creation only. But what we need is eternal peace, which can never be present in this creation, but it is still achievable if you follow Jesus' given instructions, and so he can take you to the kingdom of God, where peace and joys and bliss have been eternally available. So this world that we live in is run by the law of karma, like the other two worlds, heaven and hell, but earth specifically is being run by karma that are both good and bad, because of which life is hard sometimes, and life is simple and good at the same time too. This peace that all humans on the planet wants, why do you think you crave it so much? Reason behind this is that everybody's mind is completely astray, and it won't let us find this peace in our daily life. That is why we desire it so much. And yes, peace or eternal peace are both divine qualities, which only God has it. Even if we have this peace, it is through His grace. So what do you need to do to experience this peace? Now you need to know peace can never be eternal in this world, as there is time responsible for it, because time keeps on moving, making changes along the way. As it moves forward, its only constant thing is moving forward. So peace that comes will only last for almost a lifetime. Like, let's take scenario in which there is a loyal disciple under his master, and master knows all his karma, and according to master, he wants his disciple to go through all the bad karma there are in the early ages of time in his youth, and then send the rest of the good karma for the next part of his life. So what happens here is that early life is hard life, coming life is great and peaceful life. Even this scenario is not easily done because everything happens according to karma, and in a day we do both good karma and bad karma simultaneously. So life is both hard and simple or peaceful or great at the same time. So the solution for this is that we only do good karma and divert from bad karma, which will only happen when you have a teacher like Jesus who can teach you how to make your mind, which is sinful at this time, to simply becoming a tool under Jesus' orders or teachings. Just basically be obedient to what Jesus says, and just do it. Don't be obedient to your mind. This way your mind will also become like Jesus' mind, which is completely under His control and is full of peace, not like the mind we have, which is always thinking, and after thinking, when it likes something, it will basically get us to do so, and so humans do thing without ever thinking if the thing we are about to do, is it even a good thing? So the point is, don't let it command and form desires, which you then think are your desires. Use discernment after thinking about it in a thorough and rational manner, then make the decision. But still we humans are prone to making mistakes. So still, when you make a mistake, remember the pain this mistake caused, and try to never make that mistake ever again. Like, for example, the pain of heartbreak or break up, it is always hard. So remember the pain and try not to give any other person the right to do that to you ever again. Pain is the reminder never to suffer from it ever again. Become strong, learn to use this pain to become stronger, and learn to say no to your brain. As only when you say no, you will say yes to Jesus. So only when you say yes to Jesus through His grace, He will not only give you peace, but even eternal peace. But still eternal peace is only available in Kingdom of God, where God is. That eternal peace aside, let's first talk about how to have peace in this world. The key component behind this here is mind. So instead of just thinking, all the time try being still, without any thoughts, and try to believe and have faith. Since I am doing Jesus-given work, He will be happy, and that I was obedient, and then in return of this not only will He give us peace, but everything there is in this cosmos, by giving you God Himself, as when you have the Creator with you, all of His creation is basically yours, just like the Father, Son, and home. Father is God, and we are the grandkids, and this is the home He has made for us. Before we didn't have Father behind us, that is why we were unhappy, and now He is with us, so this creation will now give us happiness. In spirituality, true learning starts when the mind drops its objections, love and trust take charge, the mind becomes still, and we enter deep silence. We become receptive. We become open to wisdom from Jesus. We are finally ready to learn something beyond what we think we know. When the mind surrenders, to silence there are no waves rippling the surface of the mind, no preconceptions, no wavering. There is only calmness, serenity, and alertness. It doesn't take human mind, intelligence, and intellect to understand truth. Often an unlettered person will understand, while a highly learned scholar misses the point. It takes faith, love, and trust. Now the difference between faith is for something we don't have evidence of, but we still trust that it is correct or truth, while with experience, when you have experienced truth, this faith then becomes trust in your Master. To obtain this wisdom, it takes openness and attentiveness and discipline. It takes absence of ego and relaxed receptivity. Okay, reason behind why we need to have to be open, attentive, have no ego, and have receptivity. Sometime the wisdom, information, or truth that is being delivered talks about things we don't believe, things like reincarnation and God. This world that we live in, this universe, scientists across the globe know this fact, and it has been proved that this universe is growing now since we know this, and it is the truth. Let's take example a fan which seems to release air. It is connected by wires to a power source. Then there is a button, and when the button is pressed by human, the fan starts releasing the air. So the key parts here are human, button, wires, fan, and air. So the question that presents itself that we can see the creation, but why can't we believe in its creator God himself. So think of it like, just like the human who presses the button, God is the one who switched on the button for this creation, and just like a fan who releases air continuously, this creation is also growing continuously, and the wire that connects to the fan and gives electricity, and in case of space that is growing, here the reason behind this massive expansion is God's ultimate power word. But we humans here have given it names simply because of its black color as dark energy, or maybe space energy. Okay, the thing to know behind this, that word is the ultimate power which can then be converted to any kind of energy that we have in this creation, whether it is space or dark energy or gravity, magnetic force, electricity, fire and nuclear powers, and even electrons or other energy-based things we know, or even the things we don't know. To understand this, think of it like for every energy we have for making it separately, we have a product for making it. It is just like we humans have so many appliances like air conditioner, fan, heater, tube light. One gives cold air, fan gives air simply, heater for heat energy, tube light for light. Now, one electricity is being given to all of these appliances, but they are producing different effects. So for this creations, every energy that we know of, God simply converts word itself to that energy. Universe, but it is still growing. There must be a reason behind it. Why can't it be God? Since there is a creation, there must be a creator behind to make it. And if you still want evidence of God, I don't know how many religions are there on the planet, but every religion founder like Jesus, all of them have told that God is one, and to explain it even further, they have even left their scriptures for us to study. So study these scriptures. If you want the evidence, after studying apply them to your life, then the real revelation from God will come to you. And yes, when we think about it, 75% of the population on the planet is religious, and they believe in God in their respective languages. So think about it, only 25% of the people don't believe it. And they simply just don't believe it because of their pride. Think of it like emotions like greed, lust, anger, hate, revenge, bitterness, air, sunshine. We know what these things are perfectly. We have even given them names to them. So, and just like God, we are not able to see these things, but we still have them as a very important part of our life. But I don't know why, in case of God, you can simply say, just because I don't see him, so I won't believe in him. So tell me 75% of the population believes in God. Are they all idiots, or the one who is idiot, just these prideful 25% of the population? Do you know what actually makes humans different from animals who have all the same habits as humans? It's religion and intelligence, and that people like Jesus come to earth just in human form. Humans are unique because by following Jesus, you can actually become part of God. Why do we need to be attentive just like every other class? If you are not attentive, everything you hear will just go from one ear in, then the other ear out. You are not even listening to it or even thinking about it. So to learn something, you have to be attentive and disciplined, then, like every good student, try applying this information in your life. As for pride and receptivity, they are counter opposites of each other, so first and foremost, let's take the example of overeating or gluttony, and the truth or wisdom given here is not to do that. In your pride you will first doubt the information or wisdom or truth being said to you. Then, because we simply don't want to change our mind, because our pride won't let humans change, then your mind in his pride will say we are always right, like, so what if we overeat? We simply are not just capable of change, or we don't know how to say no to your mind. So the opposite of this is relaxed receptivity. So this term main function is make you understand wisdom is hard-earned only when you walk the path, not just simply listen to it. So relaxed receptivity here is grace, as Jesus is telling you to take it slow, one step at a time, as you have been given. A whole life just so that you can change according to Jesus. So if we even make one sacrifice or adopt any new good quality, for example, like saying truth, that's growth, and if you do that every month, then in just 4 to 5 years you will become a completely new and improved good person. Talking about receptivity more. Let's take example of a wise teacher. There was a class in which there were students, and a guest teacher or special teacher has come to them to give a lesson. So when the teacher first comes to the class, he asks everybody, "Do you know what I am going to teach you today?" And they all said yes. Hearing this answer, the teacher said, "If you already know, there is no need for me to teach anything." After saying this, he left the class. Then the next day, the teacher was requested to come again. So this time the teacher asked the same question, and the answer came no this time. Then the teacher said, "If you don't even know this, why am I here?" saying that he left. Then the next day he was requested again, and same question was asked. But this half said yes, and half said no. Teacher gave the answer, "Those of you who said yes, teach it to the students who said no," saying that he left again. After all this, he was once again requested, this time when he came back and asked the question. No answer was given, only pin-drop silence. Then he started his class on the subject that he was asked to explain to the students. Delving into text further and talking about sword, what we need to know here is this, that this path of Jesus and spirituality is very narrow and hard. This path is narrow because we have a mind which is totally counter to the spirituality. Now, like I said before, we need to change the mind for the better, but still, even if we change, what is the guarantee that we will stay the same like this for whole life? This is why the path becomes hard by not relapsing to old habits of mind. As for the other reason why this path is called the sword path, on this path, we don't just adopt good qualities and try keeping them or maintaining them. We also have to make sacrifices. Like, for example, let's say Jesus has asked us that we only have to love him and have faith in him in your heart, and for the rest of the people, you have to give up that love. For them, like your family members, you can still be with them and do everything with them, but still you have no feelings and attachments for them. Now think about it. How many of us can make such a sacrifice? You need to empty your heart and clean it so that Jesus can reside in your heart. So just making one of these sacrifices is hard. What if you have to sacrifice things that you don't even know how to sacrifice? Things like ego, which also means doing surrender in front of your master. Simply speaking, being close to Jesus and following his instruction or truth, we now know the truth, that we humans are really bad people if we compare ourselves to Jesus. Now we know how many problems we have and that we are totally dependent on Jesus. So in our truth and the heavy burden of karma that our soul is carrying, we surrender to our Master, because now we know we can't do this ourselves. Now Jesus will take responsibility of human and see to it that through his grace soul's light will brighten and in second approach our karma, no matter how much it is. Now it doesn't matter, as it is being handled by Jesus. They will definitely be erased in this life of yours. So this surrender and deleting your ego and pride completely is a very hard and vital part of spirituality. This is a hard part of this path. You will have to make sure that you never say no to anything, always say yes, no matter how hard the path or what sacrifices that you have to make. You just make them, no questions asked, and even no complaints done, just like soldier. People on this path grow bitter as they simply have to sacrifice everything that this world or creation has to offer and choose specifically God the Creator over everything else, with Jesus as your teacher or guide or master, and your goal is to be with God, which then comes to pass with the help of your master. So whether it is wealth, family, love, your desires, your bitterness, your hate, your anger, your lust, your ego, everything that you think is yours, you will have to relinquish them to make room for Jesus in your heart. The things or emotions that we have to sacrifice or give up mentioned above are non-existent emotions or feelings, and the material things like money and lands, these are simply worldly things that you will have to simply leave them behind when you die. Due to this, leaving physical things is still easy than sacrificing these feelings and emotions. Think of it like if Jesus said to forgive one of your enemies. How many of us will do that? And that is just one enemy. What if he said to forgive them all? It's hard to walk this path. The reason why the sword path is called this path, as it leads attainment of God. So this is one hard path to follow. To understand this, think of it like there is a man who is given a work, hardest work on the planet, of changing his mind's evil tendencies through meditation, and this man has to face a battle along the way, and for the karma that he has done are now coming back to him in form of arrows or spears. Arrows and spears here represent lighter bad karma and heavier bad karma. So every day you will be made to face these karma. Sometimes they injure you, disappoint you, causes failure on every step, makes every work 10 times harder to complete any work. Relation you have seemed to grow bitter, then every person of the society will start to mock you or despise you, as such kind of bad things are happening to you. You seem to think these are happening because I as a person has done a lot of bad karma, and that I am not worthy of anything, or I am a sinner. This sort of mentality leads to a very down trend. Not only will you have all kinds of mental disorders, and you will have no outer support also. Basically, you only have Jesus with you, and the rest of the world is your enemy. And when you are walking this sword path, you are still carrying a mountain worth of karma, which is like every step you take is a hard-earned victory over a trial sent by our karma. And aside from all these, you also have to make all kinds of sacrifices that were mentioned above. So because all three of these things happen to you simultaneously, makes this path the sword path, the narrow and difficult path. I came to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against a mother-in-law. Your enemies will be in your own household. Delving into this text, I came to set a man against his father. What this text is saying is that a boy and his father, here boy is the student of Jesus and father is a normal man. The root reason for conflict is mind of both people, as one person is follower of Jesus and the other side is follower of brain. Specifically, what is driving the wedge between father and son are desires, anger and ego and attachment. So basically, father desires that my son to study, then start working and start contributing to the family. But the son here wants to follow Jesus. The difference in ideology will lead to pride, like I am your father and am telling you to do something. You being my son should naturally do that work with no objections allowed. And when the son says no, under his anger things are bound to get out of control. One point that we need to know here is this, that except for a mother and children relationship, all the other relationships are basically attachment and lust. Real love is only present in the heart of Jesus just for you. You will not understand this point until you have felt that love, and then you spot differences we have between the people we live with. There is this quote which says attachment causes detachment. So one should pray regularly for his love. This whole text is actually saying you need to have detachment with your family members. So attachment here is also actually a chain of karma which attaches you to this creation, and Jesus has come to this earth just to break these chains which are keeping you in this creation. So this path demands sacrifices like these and this one difficult scenario. So when you are on this path, try to have patience, because this phase of battle will not last long. It will surely come to an end through your Master Jesus' grace. Aside from this, become fearless that nothing in the world can do anything to you when your Father Jesus is standing behind you. To walk this sword path, you are going to need qualities like perseverance and resilience. Resilience is quality which is needed heavily to walk this path. There will be bad days when you are down and you don't see hope or any support of any kind, and situation seems to grow worse with each passing day. You will have no rest. So to go through these days, you need both perseverance and resilience. This resilience, vital power behind it, is the faith that you have in Jesus, faith that is so strong, it won't let you stay down, and you trust your Master with all your being, or even more than that, maybe so much even if you have to die, you will die smiling. And as for perseverance, this quality will develop as you pass through all kinds of problems, and with each problem you grow stronger and stronger. It's like that song that says what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. So try to be a hard-working man or woman, and try to see to it that you never give up on this path. Try your best to be brave, and never fear anything, not your karma, not your problems, not this world which is against you now, and just have faith that you have Jesus in your corner, and you will definitely win. Amen.